Bitter Bret Hart. Bret the Bitter Man Hart. Ah, Canadians. Don't they sicken us all? Vice TV is a network that pretty much does content on personalities, people in, I guess, niche genres. And Vice TV in the last, I don't know, maybe 5 years, they really got into the history of wrestling, at least in the last, let's say, 30 years. And, they had Dark Side of the Ring. And, wrestling is so trash right now. The best wrestling TV you're going to see is Dark Side of the Ring. The best wrestling shows are about the history documentaries. You can't watch these actual companies, Dynamite, Raw, none of them. Now, I just did a video about how bitter Bret Hart is. Because the man goes on and on and on. He holds a grudge forever. He never did nothing wrong to nobody, but everyone's wrong to him. And guess what? Maybe some people did make mistakes, but that's what they are, mistakes. Mistakes. But that doesn't matter when it's Bret Hart, because Bret Hart is he's someone that you have to placate to, and you have to clearly worship him, and clearly you have to do everything right by him, and clearly you have to go to him, and everything's about him. He's really entering the Hogan Flair territory of being an embarrassment. Oh my God, Ric Flair. More on him later. Hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to this channel. Did I say that already? Now, Vice has a new show called Who Killed WCW? Now, Ric Flair has been complaining, oh, they're doing this documentary on WCW and they never called me. They didn't invite me. Flair does not care about WCW. He does not care about not being interviewed. You know what Flair's mad at? He can't get another payday so he can take that money and waste it at a bar. That's what Flair's mad about. Maybe the people don't want to deal with Ric Flair. Have you seen how he's been acting the last few years? Maybe they don't want to deal with someone like this. Maybe he's charging too much. Maybe they watched his interviews and realized he says the same thing or nothing. Have you watched Flair's podcast? He never remembers anything. And the people they had on this, I think I think they'll survive without Ric Flair. This series about who destroyed and what destroyed WCW, really the series is not needed to be watched if you know the real answer. And the real answer is Turner, Time Warner, AOL, Jamie Kellner, the executives at Turner Broadcasting, AOL, they destroyed WCW. They canceled the programming. It's not Vince Russo. I have this video on the channel, The Truth Behind WCW's Ending. It was not Vince Russo, but Goldberg, and I like Bill Goldberg, but this is where Goldberg is very ignorant. Because Goldberg, immediately they show him saying, oh, it was Vince Russo. Okay, a mark says that. Someone who's ignorant says that. You know why? Because they believe the lie, the internet Dave Meltzer lie, that the writer of the show somehow ended the company. No, he didn't. Now, what Vince Russo did, he hurt the business of the company as far as ratings. He hurt the future of certain young wrestlers developing, because Vince Russo's style is so short term. It's literally minute to minute booking, not week to week. And to this day, Russo still believes that. But that's foolishness. But he's not the reason WCW ended. It was the executives at Turner. They never liked wrestling. The only reason wrestling was ever on TNT and TBS is because Ted Turner loved it. As soon as he lost power, those people said, finally, we can end this. They didn't care. If WCW was doing a 15 rating, they don't care. They did not want it. Even in the end, and even in 2000, early 2001, WCW was still the highest rated programming on the Turner networks. Aside from NBA occasionally, aside from if they did a big movie of the week. But if you, even when Nitro was in the twos, in 2000, in 2001, Nitro, Thunder, Saturday Night, I believe, didn't they cancel Saturday Night did they cancel that in 2000, I believe? But, if you just add the numbers, it was the highest programming they had. They canceled it because the executives looked down on wrestling. And not only that, the same time, Jamie Kellner and the whole crew, they canceled the Animaniacs. They canceled so many shows throughout the Turner networks and networks they were affiliated with where they had the power to cancel shows. They eliminated a lot of programming and they focused on, okay, TNT and TBS is going to be about reruns of Law and Order and the NBA. And we're going to be the first network that has the major movies. That's what they focused on. It's only recently, obviously, they got back into AEW because those certain people have been gone. But that's what ended it. So if you know that, you don't really need to watch this series because the whole series is going to be Goldberg talking about Vince Russo, Russo talking about everyone else, Bret Hart and Goldberg going back and forth in different interview clips because Bret Hart is miserable. And Bret Hart showcases his misery because he leaves, he can't leave the past in the past. So Bret Hart went on to say during this documentary special, he said, I was a very good witness to the madness that was WCW. What a bunch of imbeciles, idiots, stupid as it gets, stupid, clueless idiots, a bunch of clueless nuts. Why is he thinking about nuts? Is there anybody here that's got any brain? Stupid, 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 every day, every night. So stupid. Just really stupid. Okay, Bret Hart. The biggest cutthroat bunch of conniving, backstabbing idiots you've ever seen in your life. Thanks for nothing. Go F yourself, WCW. You know, that statement right there tells you everything you need to know about this person. Yeah, they were such morons, but you still cashed the checks. Oh, they were so worthless and meaningless. I don't see you giving Turner their money back. I didn't see you complaining about their paycheck. You kept showing up. Now, I will say this. WCW in late 99, 2000, they did play a dirty game. But that is the wrestling business, and you signed up for it. And the dirty game they played was if wrestlers got injured, I believe they had a clause that if you did not wrestle within 30 to 90 days, they can cut your pay. So I think they did do that to Bret Hart eventually. But even beyond that or before that, he got overpaid for years. He got overpaid for years. And this statement is moronic and imbecilic. His statement sounds like a 4-year-old child ranting. And Bret Hart, my last video, he can't get over the Goldberg thing. Okay, you got hurt, it ended your career. It's an accident. Oh, I don't like Bischoff. Great. But you didn't give him his money back that he paid you. You went back to Vince McMahon. I will never go back. You went back. You did the Hall of Fame. You did a WrestleMania match that was terrible. You went to be the guest host. You went to go win the U.S. belt from The Miz again. Great. So Eric Bischoff to you is worse than Vince McMahon. I'm sorry, but didn't your brother fall from McMahon's ceiling at a pay-per-view? And of course, he's another one. He turned on McMahon with these allegations current day. But this is Bret Hart. This series is, I'm sure it's well produced and well done, but I can't watch it because I'm not about to hear Bret Hart complaining for however many episodes this is. I'm not about to hear Goldberg being ignorant, talking about it was Vince Russo, because Goldberg is another one. Now, I like Goldberg. I think he's a gentleman, but he holds a grudge against Scott Hall, Nash, and Vince Russo to this day. And he's still going with this, well, me and Russo never got along, and I felt like he buried me, so he destroyed the company. Because a lot of wrestlers are like this. This is why when you talk about history, you cannot ask wrestlers about history, because their history is, well, who did something to me and who didn't. That's not history. That's being emotional. So in Goldberg's mind, Vince Russo destroyed the company. No, he didn't. The executives ended and destroyed the company. It didn't matter. In 2001, if WCW somehow got Austin and Rock, they would have still canceled the programming. And in wrestling, if you don't have TV, your company will go in the grave. That's a fact. Even today, it'll go in the grave. You must have television. It's imperative. So this show, this is a good show if Maybe you're someone who, oh, I used to watch wrestling back then and I always wondered what happened. Okay, it's good for you. If you're like, if you're a younger person and you weren't alive at that time, it's good for you. But the problem with this is a lot of people might come away with the idea that, oh, it was Vince Russo or it was Eric Bischoff or this stupidity. I seen Booker T say this. Booker T, oh, it was the NWO storyline. How could a storyline end a company? There's a difference between WCW did not end because the ratings went low or they weren't making as much money. No, that's the financial side. The company could have existed to this day. The executives did not like wrestling. That's the only answer. Like I said, they could have been doing a 5, a 10, a 20 rating. They would have still canceled it because there was other big shows associated with Turner who got canceled for no good reason. Except the people in the office looked down on certain programming and eliminated it. I remember this. You can look it up yourself. And with that said, I'm up out of here. Like, share, subscribe. Bret Hart is still bitter, bitter Bret.